And welcome back. Thank you for waiting a few seconds there while we get. Did you say welcome? Did you respond to me, Lotus, just now? When I said welcome back,
I don't
I
think
was
so.
welcoming the
It was
viewers back.
extra.
No, Donde, one of us has like a slight amount of feedback.
Oh,
So, because I
I'll
heard
put
it
my
earlier when I was
headphones if that's
talking.
happening. Let me get my headphones.
well, there
So
you go.
you heard yourself welcoming yourself back.
Well, I kind of like a dog looking in the mirror for the first time, confused myself, and that completely ruined the intro. But thank you for sticking with us. If you stuck with us through the awesome hero match we just saw between Inzi and Nine Eyebrows, I am Donde still. BrushyTuna, he is still with me here. Mako is now joining us. Mako, welcome to the show.
I'm here, the moment you have all been waiting for.
Oh, is
Right.
Cyberpunk here too? Is that the moment everyone's been waiting for?
Ban yourself.
Yeah, we've added a new I've added a new block term to our list of block terms on our stream. I don't want to hear anything about the delay. I'm abusing my power to the fullest extent. Keep it to yourself.
Well, Lotus is getting his headset, but he is here with us as well. So thank you all for
I
joining
am.
us. Oh,
I am.
He's back. He's got his headset.
Oh, he's back.
on. Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
Lotus, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. I just had a lot of food. I was going to be here for the first part of the show, but food was very late in arriving, so now I am here.
That's all right. Welcome, welcome. We are here to discuss the week of Pro. And, of course, that was week 9 last week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about week 10, the second to last week of the regular season for Pro. And we've also got the final Legacy Player Power Rankings as that series enters the playoffs as well. So let's jump right in. We're already, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we are 40 minutes back of our normal start time, and we like to talk. So starting with the meta report, as we do, you can see all the all the lineups at the top of your screen here that had at least 3 plays this past
Hey,
week.
bud. I don't know if we're
You know what?
live.
You gotta refresh the screen, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're live.
We def live. We def live.
Oh.
We def live.
Yeah.
I
I
def
was in
look at.
I was in mod view
screen.
and it didn't change for me. I didn't know I had to refresh.
That's all right.
Yep.
Board member, by the way.
I didn't want us to keep. Yeah, because I stream up all the time.
I'm just messing with you. So we have, if you doing it live, if you look at the lineups here, the ones that were the most popular were not the most successful this past week. So I think a lot of people knew that coming into a post-nerf meta, it was going to be a lot of common lineups, a lot of just go with what has been strong in the past, and got punished for it. So Demon Hunter, 3 of those 4 top lineups, and all of those lineups struggled to the tune of under 50% game win rate, even though Demon Hunter, Mage, Priest, Rogue did end up with a positive win rate as far as the series were concerned. Wasn't an overwhelming victor there. So Mage, Priest, Rogue, Warrior, kind of the outlier a little bit. Anybody see anything on this chart here that they want to talk about? Anything that really interests you from the prior week?
Yeah, that mage one.
What? Yeah.
Well, actually, I want to point out the Warrior scenario. It seems like people finally understood how to target Warrior. Warrior had a 28% win rate. That's so low for where Warrior has been basically for quite a while now. Warrior has kind of been this class that has just had solid win rate. People have been trying to target it and just failing miserably. And then this week, Warriors have either been banned or targeted quite effectively. So I think we're starting to see Warrior finally move out of uncontested Pro Tier 1.
Yeah, if you look at the win rate on the right, too, that's that overall for the season. It is now the lowest win rate class. And, of course, it has a lot more plays than something like Warlock or Shaman does. But it remains to be seen if Warrior is a must-bring in your lineup. If you see something exploitable, it's a droppable class, I think, at this point in your lineup.
Yeah, and I think something else to say is Paladin is looking a little bit similar. It doesn't have as low numbers as Warrior, but it's a 44%, which compared to the rest of the field isn't great. You can see Mage just doing super well, probably with the target Paladin strategy, and the same for Priest. But these are the two classes that just love facing Paladin. So it's definitely something to look at. If you're thinking of bringing a lineup with Paladin and Warrior, you should know this is a thing that could happen.
All right. Brushy, you wanted to talk about Mage a little bit, so let's talk about Mage.
3 wins, 3 brats, 100% win rate with a 64.29% game win rate. It just shows that even after that nerf, that maybe Mage still got some legs under it. It's kind of exciting to see,
Yeah, I think it wasn't a crippling nerf.
Was
The small
not at
spell
all.
No.
Cyclone Mage is definitely still playable.
I think you have to factor in the thought that I think some people weren't expecting Mage to be brought too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about prepping for this. I don't know a whole lot about our THL Pro meta when it comes to prep. So I don't know if people go into it. I would expect people go into it expecting the Mage because it was such a popular deck. So I think that going into this last week with that nerf, I would anticipate, if a deck gets nerfed, usually it just stops being played for a while until
Exactly.
people realize that the nerf didn't kill it. So like if that
Yeah.
were me prepping for the week and Mage got nerfed like it did, I would go, okay, they're not bringing Mage, so I'm going to go with these other classes, which may not be as good into Mage as what I was going to bring before, thinking that they were going to bring Mage. So I wonder if it's that the nerf didn't kill Mage as much as we thought, or if it's that, people bringing Mage just caught others off guard with their lineup choices.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty similar situation on a little bit smaller scale than what we saw when Demon Hunter got whacked the very first time. And it got completely wiped off the map in terms of being brought right away. And then everyone kind of slowly realized, wow, this is still very, very good. And
Mhm.
Still
just
tier
came
1.
roaring right back. So I think it's a similar situation here. Mage, I think it might not be the 58% number one class that we see it is right now as we move into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I do think it'll still be a deck that is viable.
I mean, let's go. I mean, I'm just going to go pull up the HS replay while you talk. Don't wait on me.
Oh, I mean, I
That's
had
a horrible
nothing
idea.
else about it in terms of thoughts. So
So I mean, it's like sub 50% across the board. That's for decks though.
Well, there was one more thing to add
class.
for Mage. Mage also is one of those decks that's non-trivial to play. So HS Replay, as well as Legacy and other modes, may have a lower win rate than what it actually has.
I mean, well,
versus
I mean, we
classes
can.
like Paladin.
I mean, we're big boys. We have HS Replay Premium. So
True.
let's sort this by legend then. So
True.
I mean, just in legend, small spell mage is 47.4. And we go to top 1,000 legends, it's 48.5. So I mean, it gets like what, a percent boost, but it's still tier 3, bottom of tier 3 on here. So I think I really think that it just kind of caught a lot of these people off guard who had been putting in all that prep thinking Mage wasn't going to get brought.
I think there was also one other effect. I would expect more people to drop Demon Hunter because of the meta, just thinking that, since there's no Mage, there's nothing Demon Hunter plays super well. So Paladin really likes facing Demon Hunter. Warrior really likes facing Demon Hunter, depending on the warrior. So people, I think, went with more anti-Demon Hunter style lineups. And you can see it by Demon Hunter not having a super amazing win rate when it wasn't banned this week. And I think the lack of Demon Hunters really favored Mage in this scenario.
yeah, the trickle down effect I think is definitely a possibility to see going forward here.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on over to the Week 9 recap. So first
Recap.
things first, recap, pow!
Pow.
These are our picks from last week. As you can see, 3 people were tied. And
one person sucked.
didn't. Yeah, he struggled a little bit, but still second place. So holding it down there, Mako is in a comfortable 6-pick lead right now, going into the final 2 weeks of the
It
regular
feels
season.
so good to be on top. Like I just thinking to myself, like, how's it feel, guys, to have to
I
look
used
up
to be
the
on
name?
top,
You were on
If
top.
I had voted the week
and then
I
I
forgot to.
and then I took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah, Lotus is only 7 behind Brushy. Missed an entire week.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't wanna
didn't
talk
vote
about
for
it.
a whole week.
I don't want to talk about it.
So, never mind. Not gonna reveal strats.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Got a whole other meta going here for this.
Yeah, we got a sub meta within the meta. Mako's figured it out, and the rest of us have not.
I just got to figure out how to hold my lead here for the last how many weeks? 2 weeks?
Two.
Well, we got
Yeah,
playoffs
2
too,
weeks.
man. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shoot,
4
you're
weeks.
right.
out.
I
like-
just want to know. I actually hit the highest number 3 weeks in a row now. I just want to note that.
I'd be impressed if you won it all. Like I would extremely.
Oh, it's impossible.
It'd be extremely surprising.
Not impossible. Anything's
It's
possible with
almost
Popsicle.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about some of the matches that happened last week. Since we're talking about playoffs, we're going to talk about the 2 teams that are most certainly going to be playoff bound, and that's For the Boys versus Hyperizon was our first match of the week, and it was quite an impressive win for the Boys, 17-7. I definitely could have seen this going either way, but I didn't see a 10-point difference in the teams. So the only player getting a win for Hyperizon was Cool Kid over German Shep. Everybody else for the Boys handled it, with Buck Nasty in a sweep, Fauchot getting a sweep over Bobson, who was subbing. Actually, I think that was DQ? Concession? Something along those lines. Yeah. And,
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Mata gets a win over D-Money, and Dabs over McBanterface. So, For the Boys, still number 1. They were last week. Hyperizon, still number 2. Didn't change their position. They had enough of a gap in between 2 and 3 that it didn't make that big of a difference. Not what I expected, though. Mako, what do you think here?
Yeah, that actually threw me off guard. I had Hyperizon taking this match.
Same.
I mean, I got 3 out of the 5 picks right, but like I definitely thought this was like even if I was wrong about the team winning, I definitely thought that this was gonna go a lot closer than what it actually was. Yeah, this is a little insane. And there's that 4 Mage Bring on the side of Hyperizon. I mean, you were just talking about, who Brushy was just talking about Mage being OP this past week, and I mean 3 out of the 4 players on Hyperizon that brought Mage lost. So
Yeah.
In fairness, one of their mages was banned.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Now, I will say Brushy and I did pick For the Boys to win this, but we both picked a 3-2, and I think expected the score to be a little bit closer. Is that right, Brushy?
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting. Remember, because I was supposed to give out 10 subs if they tied, and they did not.
Hey, they absolutely did not.
If you cover
No.
if you cover the one with your finger, they tied.
Oh,
Oh,
that's...
So
I
can
didn't
you
think
cover,
about it like that. Oh.
cover the 1 and the number of subs then?
We'll leave that to interpretation. Chat.
Lotus, any last thoughts on this one here?
Congratulations to For the Boys. This is a really good performance of what I think all of us wouldn't be surprised if this was the finals match this time.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, moving on to match number 2. Bad to the Bone versus the
Skip.
Unknown. Skip. You want to skip a win for your team, man?
I just want to skip the 2 seed match. That's
I
all.
see. Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all I
that's understandable. So Bad to the Bone fell to the Unknown. Unknown feisty here. Not necessarily in the playoff mix, but definitely apt to play spoiler here. Big wins for Ron Mexico over Dardar. That's Dardar Binks' first loss in THL at all. So congrats to Ron. Big, not big game hunter per se, but big upset there. Solo Jazz win over A2 Battleship, and Isocles with a win over Atomos. Avi and LotusKnight getting the wins for Bad to the Bone. So Lotus, I'll start with you. Your team came up a little short in this one, but still in good shape, still in 3rd place. But it's a lot tighter now. Bad to the Bone, Aeon, F2L, all very tightly clustered there. What are you thinking about this one here, and where do you see you guys going forward?
Well, first, I just want to say everyone bet against me last week but myself,
True.
and I actually got the win.
Somehow.
Somehow, it was such a weird match, but it was
I
good.
watched the replays.
It was very weird, but DeSharmo was really fun. We were on voice the whole time just chatting, and it was a fun match. A lot of rattle wars. A lot of rattle wars. That being said, I think Bad to the Bone is still in a good position because the three teams that are trying to compete for the last spot, and nowadays they're not three anymore, there's one more I would count in. These three teams lost, which
True.
means their relative positions didn't really change. So it's not bad for Bad to the Bone when you lose, but you're still gaining enough points to open a gap to fourth place.
Definitely. And the one match that Mako and I both got right here was Avi upsetting BrushyTuna, or not upsetting BrushyTuna.
That was not an
him
upset. That's not
making
an
him
upset.
physically upset.
Let's
Different,
yeah, okay. We'll
different
take that one.
use of the verb there.
Yeah.
So Mako, obviously you and I were both very far off on what we expected to happen here.
Yeah. Yeah, both of you and I had the same picks and only got one of them right. We did oh man. It's fine. I mean, to be fair, I don't think we could really put too much blame on ourselves. The Unknown has been struggling, and Bad to the Bone has been doing really well.
Oh yeah, no, I take no responsibility for anything. So
well, you could bet on me. I've been betting on you, Donde, and you just don't bet on me.
I bet on you sometimes.
Yeah, one thing I think is really interesting, and it's I guess kind of related to this. But if you I just noticed this, and I don't know if there's like a pattern that I'm missing that deals with our AOS. But all of the teams with easier schedules this season, based on those AOS scores, are at the bottom half of the bracket. And all the teams with the harder schedules so far this season are at the top half of the bracket, or not bracket, of the standings. I don't know if that's because of something that's just very obvious that I'm missing, or if that's actually interesting information.
Hmm.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Like F2L is the only team in the top half with a more, I guess, easier schedule if you go by color codes.
Well,
I mean, they're all
well,
fairly. To be fair, they're all fairly even, right? They're all like in that sub 40
yeah.
range. But at
It
the
also
same time,
makes sense seeing the matches this week because I think most players in the top are actually facing easy matches this week compared to what it could have been point wise.
I don't know. I mean, that fourth place team is playing the team that just beat the third place team, so we coming for y'all. We here to ruin playoff hopes.
well, we will get to that in the preview section. But
yeah, we're gonna get to that because I have some questions for my co-hosts here.
Sure.
Wait, which one?
Don't worry.
The
about
one
it.
on top or the one below you?
Or the one who's Donde. I just want to quick Donde complain. I need an image somewhere, at least before the end of the season. Just put a small GIF somewhere.
We'll see what we can do. But for now, let's move on to match number 3. Aeon versus the Beer Boys, number 3. Pow. So Aeon coming off 2 back-to-back total sweeps, stumbles a little bit here and falls to the Beer Boys 17-9.
Real hard.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brushy. Yeah. So this one,
You're welcome,
Neji was the only win for Aeon, and it didn't go so hot. Anazabe gets a sweep over our hat. Myanodon with a win over Markshire. Turtle subs in and beats me, and Inzi took the win over Risen. So, yeah, Beer Boys strong week. Again, another team that I don't know if they'll necessarily factor into the playoff equation, but just makes life a little tougher for Aeon. So it is what it is. Coming off a couple weeks that were very, very good, and struggling does happen. Tuna, you've got words for this one. I'm sure you wanna lay it on us a little bit. So take it away.
Get wrecked, Donde. That's all I have.
Reasonable.
You know what's funny is if you even go back to last week's stream, you could see me trash talking you, telling you that Turtle was going to beat you, and then I just didn't pick Turtle.
I mean, that's not on me, man.
I know it's not on you, but I'm saying for myself out loud, so I remember next time to pick against you, and I think I remembered to do that this week. But
Fair.
we'll see.
All right, Mako, team captain of Aeon. What happened here?
No comment.
No comment.
He's verbally skipping this one apparently.
Yeah, he skipped. How come he gets used to skip? Man, that's some
Board member, by the way.
board
I
member.
tell you
by the way.
what, I'm the only
Not a
person
board
that got
member,
that,
by the way.
I'm the only person that got that 2-seed matchup right.
That's true. That's true. The patented.
I tell you guys, easy fucking pick, but no one believes me.
Yeah, I believe you now.
I believe you.
I mean, I believed you then, and I was just an idiot and forgot to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else
Good
on this? That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all he's got. It's just yep. Love it.
I mean, I still don't understand how the Beard Boys, just because of the lineup they have, how isn't this a top contender team every season? It's kind of crazy to me. But
You could honestly say that again about almost every team in pro.
Yeah, pro is just so loaded.
yeah,
I mean, some teams are going to falter.
Yeah.
yeah, but they've been like that. Like 3 seasons, I would have bet the Beard Boys were in the top 4, and they've been struggling so hard. It's kind of surprising, really surprising.
I guess you could say they're just not getting it.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's just go.
Skip!
Yeah, I think.
No skip. That was the best joke that's ever been said on this show.
Well, speaking of Prime jokes,
oh no,
you can sub with Twitch Prime whenever you would like for free if you have Amazon Prime.
Lotus.
How did you fail?
It was easy.
Speaking
Speaking of getting it, you should be getting a sub to our channel or something. I don't know. Come on,
it's so easy and he can't even do it.
It's so easy and then messes up immediately.
Yeah, man, I'm pissed.
Hey, at least now I have a GIF on stream.
You do. I got you covered, my friend.
Thank you, Donde.
It's already been 10 weeks in the making.
Shut up. I'm going to skip Tuna's next turn talking. Match number 4,
Yo,
F2L versus Due Process. This is no. F2L versus Due Process with a big win for Due Process, 18-10, keeping Due Process not only in the playoff race, but very, very close. Only 9 points out of the playoffs right now, with F2L sitting between them and Aeon. So looking at the the 4-1 win here for Due Process, the only player getting a win for F2L is Rescue Wabbit, but FBM2 and Goose continue their roles, and Mr. Python with a big sweep over Itachi. Boolean, a win over Jammies. Both of those players only have 3 wins on the season, but if you look at the lineups on the right side here for Due Process, they were pretty much on that mage train as well, but it worked out for them instead.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tuna, I've already committed to skipping you, so we're going to go with Mako.
That's fine.
Mako, what do you think here in this matchup?
There it is. I mean, we almost all got that 3rd seed matchup wrong. I think Due Process. We've been talking about Due Process on this like slow climb the entire season from their bad start, trying to like slowly climb their way up into one of those top 4 spots, and it's really, you're right, it is working. I mean, it's coming straight off the back of. I mean, the other players are obviously doing well as well, but I feel like it's coming straight off the back of FBM2, right?
Yeah, him and Goose are definitely the big point getters on this team.
Yeah.
A team that, by the way, only has 3 actual wins on the season, and still somehow is right outside the door of the playoff.
It's the most of the same part there, too.
Yeah, they spent the first, 4 or 5 weeks without a win. And yet they still never got down on themselves and just kind of hung around long enough to stay in the hunt, and then they've just been killing it these last few weeks. So, yeah, for about a month there, they've been one of the hottest teams in pro. Lotus, how about you?
Yeah, I have to congratulate Due Process. This was a direct match, and they needed a crushing win because just looking at point totals, their best bet right now is probably to skip over F2L and Aeon if they want to make it in. It's going to be not because Bad to the Bone is my team. I'm not saying that. It's just because of the point difference. It's really hard to close a 12-point gap, much harder than it is closing a 6 or 9-point gap, and it's
Nice gap.
scary. I could see Due Process making it if Aeon and F2L don't get their act together this week.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a big week.
Yeah, I mean, if Bad to the Bone loses, I can definitely see Due Process squeaking in for that 4th spot.
Ooh.
I mean, it's
you're
also
only 3
possible.
points ahead of Aeon, so like if there's a chance that Aeon falls out of it,
Well,
Bad to the Bone could
it's a
fall out
lot
of it.
easier to catch 9 points than 12. That is what I meant.
It's pretty close to the same. It's 1 win for your team and like 1 loss for the other team, and you were like right on top of them. So
Yeah.
it's
No,
roughly
I
the same.
wouldn't
That
say
three
that.
3 points really isn't that big of a difference.
I mean,
in all honesty.
honestly, there's 2 weeks left, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's theirs too? I thought this was the last week.
Nope. It
Oh,
is this week and then next week.
I think based on given the only 7 points that High Prison put up this past week, I think the only team that's really feels locked is for the boys. I think any of 2
that's true.
through 6 could fall out potentially with one more bad week. Like High Prison's not locked anymore after that last week.
Hyper Horizon would really need to get shut down really hard in at least one, if not both weeks. But it is possible.
One more 7-point week.
The playoff killers are coming in, man. You know,
True.
we face them 2 weeks from now, so we'll see what we can do.
Yes, the unknown is directly affecting all of the playoffs over these last. few
Yeah, I
weeks.
mean we do. We played Bad to the Bone, now Aeon, and then Hyper Horizon right after that. So
Well, moving on to match number 5 last week, Windkeepers versus Canadian Clown Fiesta 5. So Windkeepers, big win, 18-8, and I would say the Windkeepers are like the last team that I would consider to be playoff alive. The heartbeat is there. It's faint, but they are definitely a dark horse contender to sneak in if they really go crazy these last 2 weeks and get a little bit of luck on their side too. So they did what they had to do. 18-8 win over Canadian Clown Fiesta, getting wins out of Agent, PWE, Easy Bake Nails, and Free Hong Kong. The only loss is Clone at the top to Wangor. So Canadian Clown Fiesta, for all intents and purposes, sitting down in 11th. They dropped 3 spots. They are, I would say, eliminated at this point, even if math does not say that they are. So Windkeepers staying alive, very important. Brushy, how do you feel about this one?
I felt great. I got 4 out of 5 right. I'm the best.
Lotus, any quick thoughts here? That's the least quick.
Well, if you can still sub with Twitch Prime.
Okay.
All right, skip.
Skip. Mako, thoughts on this one before we move on to the final match?
No, I mean, Windkeepers did great, but I think we're looking at. I don't foresee these 2 teams making playoffs unless there's some sort of miracle happening to the teams above them.
Yeah,
So,
Windkeepers need basically 46 points over the next 2 weeks to have a shot.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, Windkeepers put up their best, you know.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
With 18 points, they're putting up their best chance, right? They're trying their damnedest to squeeze into that 4th spot, but it's looking dire.
Yeah. Shout out to Saku, one of my favorite people in THL.
Love Saku.
Saku is the greatest person to ever do anything.
He's probably been in bed for like 2 hours though, so maybe he'll catch up on this tomorrow.
No, he's usually here for this. He usually goes to bed like right around this time. He might have caught some of this.
Well, we'll catch you on the VOD, Saku. Final match of last
week. Or
week.
YouTube, because he posted there.
Or hello, YouTubes. Mash and Weishas versus Tap last. Best team of the regular season last season versus the champion in a match that none would have expected to matter very little for much of anything, going to the season. Heat Shock, ESO Glockta, Valdis, and Roadrunner handled business, though, as the Weishas. Still playing for pride. You definitely don't want to end the season on a poor note. And here they come out and they do, they get that big win over Tap last just to show that there's still some life there, and Heatshock's putting himself together quite a nice season there, 6-3 at the top of the standings there for the Weishas. So if nothing else, a little bit of personal achievement there for Heatshock. But Tuna, thoughts on this one?
I mean, yeah, you pretty much hit everything that I was going to reference about it. The one thing I don't want to talk about is your picks for this one. I would like to skip that, but but
you mean the point where I got all of them right?
Yeah, you got all of them right. Yeah,
Nice.
I'll give you that. Yeah, but yeah, you said everything that I had on my mind about this match. So,
all right, Mako.
That's all I got.
Same thing as last match. The only difference, is the extra like fall from grace storyline that we have with the Mash and Weishas. But I mean, we talk about that every single week, so oh well.
All right, Lotus.
Maybe they'll come back next season and change their name back and actually win.
if they do win next season under the Washu Mishas, then we will know that it was the name that did it.
I mean, from one of the most hyped matches of last season to this, I guess, shows Bro has this trend recently of teams doing really well and then the next season just not.
Yeah, that's why you just do what Aeon does and do pretty good most of the seasons, but never fall off completely.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing for the Unknown, but we will miss playoffs this year for the first time, or this season for the first time. But I think there's also just like a bigger shakeup in lineups in Pro than any other series, right? Like because Pro doesn't have the PR system to it, so you could just recreate teams every year in and year out, like with 5 new people if you really wanted to. Where usually in like Legacy and Hero, you tend to keep like a base of the team together through every year or every season. So I think that's also what it has to do with like a lot of teams doing really well one season and possibly falling apart the next.
Yeah, and Heatshock, yeah. Go right ahead, Mako. Go right ahead.
I was gonna say Heatshock made a good point that they did lose 2 players from last season, so it is not the same lineup. So
yeah,
and they are a university team, and they are now in school session as well, versus being in the summer season, which allows them a lot more time to prep, a lot more time to really dig into lineups and stuff. You know, they got the other responsibilities going on, and that's how it is. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Tespa twice a week. Yes, Diamond's right. So, I mean, honestly, I'd put a little more effort in THL personally because it's better. But
listen, man,
I'm just kidding.
I have work 6 days a week. Like, what's the problem here?
Listen to this guy, Captain Bootstraps over here. All right.
Listen, Captain.
Major.
I'm not an officer. I work for a living. Anyways.
Well, we're gonna slide on over to the Legacy Power Rankings.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. Power Rankings. So this is I think we're gonna get some hate, mostly me because it's my formula. That's fine.
It is your formula.
Yes.
Let's start with the honorable mentions. Hey, Lotus.
Hey.
You made it to the honorable mentions, my friend. Congratulations.
I don't get why. Yeah. I do not deserve it.
I mean, you're 5-3.
Fine.
You have 5-3 with a really good game win record.
Plus 6 in game score. That's really good. Comp, Anfall, Chewbacca, and Noglako. Noglako and Comp fell out of the top 10, but everybody else was unranked. So congratulations on sneaking your way in there in the last week of the season. A little bit of gold representation at the top and some red at the bottom. So still a mix. We're going to see a bit of a difference here when we go to the actual top 10, though. So what if Lotus is ranked number 1 Diamond? Unfortunately, not.
I tell you what, I saw this top 10 and I was pissed.
Okay.
Let's see it. I honestly didn't look at it even when you posted because I'm lazy.
I mean, I appreciate
he's scared to put it up now.
No, I have to click buttons to get things ready.
Click the button, Donde.
He's hesitant. He knows the pitchforks are coming.
Yeah.
All right, top 10.
Click.
Oh.
Yeah, so
button.
the 7-1 player JR Juggerlaw managed to hold on to the number 1 spot. Congrats to JR. He had so many significant wins on the season that he had a big enough gap that it didn't actually drop him, that he lost this last week, and he did lose 3-2, so he still picked up a few points. But our slew of 8-0 players, Neji, Do Win, and Based Inc. Are all 2 through 4, which I thought was interesting.
The Hearthstone Academy HSA disrespect flowing out of your keyboard and
Wow.
onto my screen is just way too much.
I mean, I was surprised as well, but JR 23-8. He was one of only 2 players who played a full season, along with Free Hong Kong, that had sub 10 losses, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's amazing.
The one loss was a 3-2. It wasn't like he got blown out or anything. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that puts JR above is literally the game win percentage.
the game win percentage,
23-8 to
he had
24.
3 significant wins on the season that got him bonus points.
Are you telling me that the 8-0s had not 3 significant wins?
Yes.
Oh,
If we remove
yeah.
this,
Our hat's right. Even if you remove the significant wins thing, he'd still be first.
Right.
Because game win record. In all honesty.
So shout out to JR and Red Conference, very strongly represented here. Gold had more in the honorable mentions, so overall pretty even with 7 players versus 8. So as even as it can be with an odd number, but Red I think had the more top heavy conference, and I think a lot of these players are all going to be featured in the playoffs here.
JR just rolled up.
Hey JR, congrats, buddy. You will take it because I'm not giving you an option. Enjoy the number 1. Hearthcenter approved. But as I should mention, for some reason, every time someone is number 1 at Hearthcenter, they don't end up winning the MVP.
Oh, good job, JR. I mean, the MVP is going to Base, Neji, or Doing. So. Easy.
Congrats on what you did get, but that's probably it for the season, unfortunately.
No, that's not true. There was one number 1 a couple of pro seasons ago that also won MVP that year.
Okay, so it happened one time.
Yep. I know the exact scenario, too. I know exactly what happened. It was a pretty great season.
Was it Brushy?
It was.
Jerk.
It was me.
Just kick him out.
It was
Can you
me.
just disconnect him from the call?
Well, we got to talk to him for a little bit longer because I know he's going to have some opinions on the Week 10 preview, which we're moving into right now.
Preview.
Meow.
So
You think I'm saying meow, sir? Sorry. You said meow, and it reminded me of the skit.
It's not a skit, it's a movie.
Skit. The skit within the movie.
Anyway, for the boys, Beard Boys, this is the boys matchup, the boys. Buck Nasty versus Zabe, German Shep versus Mayandan Dabs versus Always Just in Time, Faux Show versus Inzi and Mata versus Getting It. For the boys, very comfortably in first now. I don't think that there is really too much concern on their side as far as dropping out of first place. But do we think that the Beer Boys can pull off a W here? I say no. In fact, I have a sweep for the boys.
I have a sweep as well.
I have a sweep as well.
Spoiler alert, we're picking a lot of sweeps this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of sweeps this week, and this is one of them.
I think I had the least amount of sweeps.
Again, I think something needs to be pointed out. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that these are gonna actually be sweeps. So just because we have it as a sweep on our pick sheet.
Thanks, German Shep. Now we're not going to sweep to prove you all wrong. There you go, bud.
The thing is, now that we've put ourselves in this competition, it's really hard for one of us to pick one of the Beer Boys right now over a For the Boys player based on performance. So I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think it'll probably
German
end up
Chef
being
just
like
told us he's
4-1.
throwing, so I guess I should switch to my Anodon.
Exactly, right? I think it'll be 4-1 for the boys. I just don't know who's going to be the one. So
Right. You could also just say that we're not getting it.
Oh, my Anodon is Turtle, actually. Okay.
Nope.
Subbed out. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Does that change anything?
No.
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 Jesus.
Let's move to match number 2 then. Hype Horizon versus Tap Last. So this is another situation here where a team that is obviously playoff bound in Hype Horizon versus Tap Last, playing for Pride here, and I think this one will probably be another quick pick here. I'm gonna sweep for Hype Horizon.
Sweep for the Hype Horizon.
Same. Again, I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. I think
Oh,
this
I
will
actually
probably
think
be.
this one's going to be a sweep.
I don't. I think if anything, the other one was more likely to be a sweep. I think this is probably gonna end up being 3-2 or 4-1. But in the way of Hype Horizon, I just don't know which way. Like, I just don't know who's gonna pick up those wins. I think CMAC and your mom Ken are probably the two that could get those wins on the Temp last side. I actually almost picked your mom Ken to win this week for Tap Blast.
I mean, Liquid Ox was having all sorts of stream issues today. He had a lot of internet issues, so maybe that happens during his match.
Can't change.
Too
Can't
late.
change.
All right. Lotus, you didn't say anything. Do you have anything about this one?
Bring your brooms out.
All right, and we did allude to this in the recap section that there were a lot of the top teams playing some of the teams that are a little bit lower ranked. Here's another one that's a little bit closer. Bad of the Bone versus Windkeepers. This might actually be like the match of the week, to be honest. This is very, very impactful because Windkeepers, as you mentioned, need big weeks to have a shot at the playoffs, and Bad of the Bone needs to stay steady. So this one is not a sweep, in my opinion. I do think Bad of the Bone will take it. I think it's going to be a 3-2 with Avi, Atomos, and Dardar getting wins. Lotus, I didn't pick you this week, buddy. I'm sorry. I got Easy Bacon Nails getting wins for the Windkeepers. But I do think that you guys will not entirely lock up your playoff spot, but I think you will get enough and boot the Windkeepers out of contention here this week. Lotus, I think I know what you picked without even looking.
Bring your
Yeah,
brooms
we all
out.
know.
We're not having a sweep, and that's because I would never pick against that player. She's
Holy
just
cow.
phenomenal. Yeah,
If
I
you were-
voted ace for everything but one match.
If you are on the left side of our screen, then Lotus picked you to win, except for one single match.
Well, let's not say who that is. We'll keep that as a surprise, but it's obvious.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say he's got a good based line of picking the left side.
Ooh,
Jesus.
brutal. Just for that, Brushy,
I had
I'm
to do
changing
it.
one of your picks.
No, I know which one you're changing. Stop.
Change it.
Yeah,
There's no way I would ever pick that. Everyone knows.
We need to talk about that pick here in a second.
We will. It's next.
Hat, stop encouraging him.
It's not Hat. Is it Hat?
Hat is encouraging you.
How? Where? Oh, in
He
chat?
says he appreciates you.
Aw. I love Hat.
That's very nice of him to say. And kind of charitable, considering I don't know how many of us actually appreciate you.
Oof.
Just kidding. Aeon versus
I
the
know no one
Unknown.
appreciates me.
This is the
Wait,
one
wait,
that Brushy...
we didn't.
You didn't
Whoa,
do your
hold
pick?
on.
What?
I didn't get to say my picks.
Sorry,
Bro,
I thought
you
you did.
cheating, bro. Nah, I got Easy Bake and Nails taking it, but then the rest goes to Bad Bone.
Okay, so you
That's all
did
I
the
wanted
exact
to
same
say.
thing as me.
Oh, is that what you picked?
Yeah.
Bro,
Good
I don't
talk,
look at your
guys.
picks. I don't care about your picks. Ooh.
Ooh, all right. Aeon versus the Unknown. This is the
What our
one.
hat said?
And loses in the 1 and 2. So he's picking against himself, but also somehow me. Collateral damage right there. Thanks, Arhat and Mako and everyone.
Well, okay.
Except for
I need
my
to stop
friend
you for a
Lotus.
second.
Go ahead.
I need to stop you for a second. Because there's a chance I may end up picking you to win this week.
Oh, okay.
And
Ooh.
it's based on one question that I have after watching you guys casting the last match.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Brushy, with presented with the opportunity to actually play a warrior Galakron from behind as priest, would you play that card?
Like factually, like if I needed to win the game,
Factually,
no.
yeah.
If I was
Okay.
just memeing with my opponent, yes.
Alright.
But if
I'll
I'm
stick-
trying to win, no.
I'm
I would not
sticking.
actually do
I'm
that.
sticking with the Donde special then. So
Okay.
I have Brushy winning for the unknown, and that's it. If you're gonna say yes, then I was about to switch
No,
my
no,
pick
no, no.
immediately.
No. If I'm like memeing on like ladder or something, I would do it. But I wouldn't do that in THL.
Dude, you almost put me in a situation where I picked Donde to win.
I think I even said that on stream that I was just memeing and I wouldn't have
I
done
was
that either.
scared, man. All right.
I was scared.
Anyways.
He was scared that he might have to pick Donde.
Well, I picked a sweep for Aeon because we're gonna get
Yeah.
back on this horse.
You won't.
Sure. What did you
The
think after
playoff
Brushy?
was let Lotus go and then I'll go.
Sure. I will keep with my trend today of just talking about the card that I called one of the best cards in
Yo.
the expansion before it came out. Animated Broomstick.
True.
All right. Yo, what is happening with my picks here, Donde?
I don't know.
Donde is going through and changing all of Brushy's picks
You know what?
on her.
You know what?
sheet
You know what?
early on
You know what?
winning.
I'm gonna change that one. I'll let that one stay changed.
So I want to remind you, Brushy, what happened last time you picked the unknown to win.
Yeah. We lost. But but here's the thing. Here's the thing though, right?
I'm
Your
listening.
guys' 2 seed, trash.
The
As
two
she's
seed
got
that beat you
four
last
other-
time that they played, right?
And then I beat you the time before. We are tied 1-1. This is the tiebreaker.
What do you
Okay.
got for me lately?
I don't care what I've done for you lately, in honesty. All right, your guys' 1 seed even said he's going to lose, so I changed that. I now have Icicles being Arhat, just because Arhat also doesn't believe in himself for some reason. And then I got Solo, Jazz, and Ron winning. And then I have Neji beating Skittles.
Neji is a beast.
He is a beast. But your 2 seed is trash. Ron beat Dardar, so he's riding this crazy high right now. So that's why you got to pick
so he's
Ron.
coming in for a crash, is what you're saying. Like a
Nah.
roller coaster, up, 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 down.
Although Ron did stream for an hour today, and he did miss lethal like 3 games in a row. So I am now kind of scared of my Ron Mexico pick.
He's worried
But-
about Dinsdale, man.
No, he's just like on stream, and it's just like, oh, chat, did I have lethal? And we're all like, yes, Ron, you did. but but no, I'm gonna go 4-1 unknown. We're gonna be called the playoff ruiners this season, and
Mostly because you
We're
ruined your own playoff chances.
we did. We started by ruining our own. I mean, we beat Bad to the Bone in a huge week that they needed to gain points and secure their playoff chances. Now we're going to play you guys, and we have the chance to do it again. And then we're going to go play Hype Horizon, who will probably be locked by then, but we'll still do what we can.
All right, well, we'll see. Match number 5. F2L versus Canadian Clown Fiesta. F2L needing the points over a team that is struggling in Canadian Clown Fiesta. We have... I think this one will be closer, but it's still a win for F2L. I've got Glee, Berserk, Jammies winning. I keep picking you, Jammies. I believe in you, man. But struggling this season, and my picks haven't been great. So, Based and Corridon getting win for the Canadian Clown Fiesta. Based is just good and should probably have been playing pro this whole season, TBH. Just saying. Lotus, what do you think?
I mean, this is not going to be a sweep because base is there. Otherwise, it would be a sweep. It's a 4-1.
Mako?
Shit. There we go. Yeah, no, I have the exact same thing as Lotus. I think, base is gonna be that saving grace coming in from the clowns, but yeah, I really don't want to. I mean, I don't want to pick Bad to the Bone to win. I don't want to pick F2L to win because they're like neck and neck with us. But I don't know, man. Like it's hard not to in these matchups Because I mean, like the Canadian, they've just been struggling, right? So it's just kind of hard. I don't know. I feel bad picking sweeps. I really do. I feel like I'm trashing on a team whenever I pick a sweep.
I'm not trashing on anyone, okay? I'm just picking brooms to clean the trash away.
I didn't say anything about you, Lotus, but that was very defensive, which makes me
Yeah.
think you are trashing on people.
Yeah.
All right, Tuna, your thoughts?
All right. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that strayed away from the pack. Oh no, you did as well, Donde. Oh. But I got
Yeah.
Wangor taking it in the 1 and Base taking it in the 3, but the rest will go to F2L.
All right, so everyone thinks F2L gets a win here.
Yeah. I mean, Wangor did just win like $2,400
Yeah, he's
from the
pretty
Master
good.
Tour last week.
And I mean,
So
he's playing somebody else who also was in the Masters Tour and was very, very good. So that's a high-powered match
Fair.
on the 1.
it is. It is. Records aside, just player versus player, that is
Oh, without a
an
doubt.
amazing match.
Yeah, I mean, just if you take away, the records and whatnot, there's a lot of really good matches here, regardless of the records. But yeah, F2L needs this week. They need this week bad. Final match of the week is Due Process versus the Mash and Weishas. Weishas coming off that big win with Due Process. Well, they're coming off a win too, and this is another situation where you've got one team that needs it bad in Due Process, and Weishas playing mostly for the pride here. FBM2 versus Heatchalk is another elite level match. And then you got Goose versus Valdis, Mr. Python versus Dr. Pyro, Dr. BOMD versus Ufric, and I'm just upset we didn't get the Doctor matchup in the Dr. BOMD, Dr. Pyro. So close. Boolean versus Roadrunner in the 5 to round it out. So I have a 3-2 win for Due Process, but this one should be another close one. I think that does hurt Due Process overall if Aeon and F2L do happen to win, as does Bad to the Bone. But FBM, Goose, and Dr. BOMD getting the W's for Due Process, in my opinion. Brushy.
Yeah, I got pretty close to the same thing. That this is going to go to Due Process as well. FBM2 in the 1, Goose in the 2, Dr. Pyro in the 3. Wait, that's not who I had. I'm pretty sure. I think someone changed. I meant to pick Mr. Python. I have Mr. Python in the 3, Ufric taking down Dr. Bomb-D. I have no Doctor winning this week, and then Boolean in the 5.
All right. And let's see, Mako.
I have picked a sweep after I just said that for Due Process. This isn't okay. I'll say this. This is an actual team that I would like to see climb into the top 4, because they've been we've watched them slowly climb week after week after week.
Would be a great story.
It would be a great story. I would like to see them make it. So this is a sweep that I'm actually getting behind here. I'm actually rooting for this sweep.
Lotus?
I know Diamond likes to claim that I'm for the boys' #1 fan, which is not true. But I think I might be Due Process's #1 fan. If they kicked us out of the playoffs, I would be very pissed off, but I would be not as pissed as other teams. If it were other teams that did it.
All right, Lotus?
I gotta go with Mako here. I'm a JR Juggerlaw fan. I think JR's a lot of fun, great captain. And yeah, I like his team. I think Due Process is a good team. They have an insane record in the 1, and their 2 seed is also crazy. Surprising no one, I think it's going to be a sweep for them. And I think this puts them in a good position.
Yeah, it definitely would bring a lot of chaos to the final week of the regular season in Pro if Due Process has a big week, which it looks like most people think is going to happen. So we'll have to see. All right, so that is it for us here. Thanks for sticking with us on the long stream today. We had the match before Hearthcenter. If you happen to miss that and just tuned into the show here, please do check that VOD out because the series was very, very good, and Brushy only made a couple mistakes when he was casting, so it's not too bad.
Me?
Yeah. You talking about playing Galakron?
Yeah, as a joke. I literally said
Yeah.
as a joke.
Sure. That's what.
Or-
Yeah. That's what people say when they get caught.
All right, I'm gonna go clip it, the exact part where I was joking, where I was like, "Yeah, isn't that what you want to do as priest? Just steal everyone's Galakrons?" And then I said, "No, seriously though, that's not the play."
Look at this guy with the steel trap of a memory. Well, thanks for joining me.
It was also like an hour ago. but-
Yeah. I don't know. My brain can't handle that stuff either. Well, thanks for joining me on both tonight, Brushy. Mako, Lotus, thank you both for being here on Hearthcenter. Appreciate you, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We will be back next week with the final week of the regular season for Pro. Legacy will be moving to the playoffs, so no more PPR there. Hero will be done. So that is basically just going to be kind of like a playoff preview, really super hype show. I know Brushy likes getting hype, so we'll let him yell a bunch. So if you like him breaking your ear holes, then you come to the right place. But we have a couple awesome matches coming up this weekend, so make sure to tune in Friday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. We've got the two hero playoff matches, I believe?
Yeah, so it's this Friday, 8 p.m. We have, let me click over here. We have twos versus Always Just in Time for Hero Series Final. Right after that, also another Hero Series Finals match is Turtle versus C-Mac. And then at 10 p.m., you can come and watch me beat Donde 3-1.
Not going to happen. He doesn't even know what classes I'm bringing yet, so.
You don't know what classes I'm bringing either.
I don't need to. I'm in your head.
Oh. You know what's funny that you say that? I'll tell you after the show, but
All right.
end the show.
All right. No matter what, that's going to be a fun night on Friday. Saturday and Sunday as well, we'll have some matches for you. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night as we have the Legacy Show Tavern Talk at 9 p.m. Eastern. So thanks again. We will see you next week. Have a great night. Brushy, hit it.
See ya!
Good night.